All right, what's up guys? So I want to preface this by saying most people see a massive app and think I could personally never compete with that. But this guy named Julian saw a massive app and thought I could build a better engine. And last month his fitness app called Gravel cleared over $440,000. And that's insane, but very realistic from what I see in SaaS. And on top of that, he didn't start with a massive team or a massive budget. He started as a developer in Argentina, and he realized that one of the biggest fitness apps on the market was actually giving people weird and dangerous workouts. So I want to say with this guy, Julian, his background was not code. In this story, his background was context. Because growing up in his dad's fitness center in Argentina, it gave him the gym DNA, while his career as a software developer gave him the technical DNA. So I always say you have to have owner market fit. You have to know what problems you're solving so you can communicate that to your customers in the most efficient way. And that's exactly what Julian did. So this is how he found the gap in the market. In his earlier years, he ran a marketing agency very similar to you guys right now, looking to get into SaaS. And that marketing agency took up so much of his time, it felt like a job rather than a startup. And that's when he noticed a gap. He was using Fitbod, a giant app in the space, and he loved the UI but hated the logic. Probably only a technical person would have that problem, but I digress. And the reason he had that problem was because the workouts didn't make any sense. The logic was very inconsistent. So that's when he realized he could combine a world-class UI UX design with a proper workout engine that actually followed fitness science and that was consistent. Now, there was a time when I was using a popular product and I realized it was fundamentally broken. And this was when I made the B2B CRM and I pre-sold it to $2K per month. And I saw an advantage just like this guy did. The competitors actually raised their prices. And that's where I saw I could go in, almost recreate the same product, but with a small twist. And a lot of you guys at home could probably do that to competitors. I just dropped a couple videos on competitors cloning other competitors and they've gotten to 5, 10K, 20K per month. So definitely take advantage of that light bulb moment just like this guy did. And you'll end up building something better and probably getting paid better as well. So this guy built the MVP probably a little longer than expected. It took him 60 days, but this guy is also technical, not necessarily a marketer. So he probably wanted to perfect all of the back end. And honestly with you guys, it shouldn't take 60 days to ship. But again, this guy is technical, so it's very understandable because a lot of technical people from my experience and me hopping on calls, they are perfectionists. So with his app Gravel, the first version took 2 to 3 months and it wasn't about building a clone. To him, it was about the logic. So he had to account for the equipment, the weekly goals, the consistency, the gender, weight, and age, and all this can be tracked on the onboarding, guys. And a lot of fitness apps, from my experience, all of this is asked during the onboarding, not only because it gives them a almost sunk cost fallacy, so when they get to the paywall, they'll convert better, but it's also for storing that information for a more accurate, logical backend, and that's exactly what this guy did. So let's break down his tech stack. His front end is React Native and Expo for cross-platform speed. His backend is .NET, and that's the workout engine logic. The admin is Next.js for internal dashboards. And for the AI, he used Cursor, which was don't let the AI go rogue and just start messing with code. So I'm assuming he confirmed and hit yes after every single confirmation of code changes. And he wanted to be very specific with what the AI touched in the code, which is understandable. And just a side note, guys, I see people get stuck in the build phase very often, for months, for years. And personally, this is why I offer one-to-one mentorship to pretty much help founders trim the fat and ship in weeks, not months. Or for my students who have an idea but don't want to build it, but don't want to touch the code. So that's why me and my team developed the custom apps for you guys from the ground up, straight to the launch phase, and just hand it over. So if you're interested in that, click the link in the description. Let's get back to the video. So Julian actually made a lot of money on Reddit. It's a very untapped marketing vertical. He didn't spend money on ads for the launch. He pretty much just posted a thread on Reddit breaking down the technical specs of how he built the app. And the result was 300,000 impressions and his first few thousand users. Now, on Reddit, there are many ways to get a post to go viral. I cover this in my mentorship. You can buy upvotes, but very hard because you will get banned if you do that. You could hire VAs to do the upvotes for you, but you have to be very careful and there's a specific strategy to do that. Otherwise, your VAs will get IP banned and it's done a lot of work for nothing. So this guy obviously had a direct playbook. It probably wasn't just posting on Reddit and then suddenly going viral. This guy probably did a little bit of gray marketing, as a lot of founders and entrepreneurs do on Reddit. A lot of people are astroturfing on Reddit. I'll just be completely transparent, but they are very subtle with it. And that's the key to marketing on Reddit. It's to be very subtle. And on Twitter, it's less strict, but it's the same thing. So on top of that, the Reddit community also gave them feedback loops on what to improve, what to fix, and what features users were willing to pay for. So after he validated it on Reddit, that's when he turned on paid ads to hit $400,000 a month. And the secret wasn't just a good marketing funnel or just a good app. It was a localized target audience. So they translated the the whole app to Spanish and ran it in South America. So I personally work with a couple founders who I'm helping clone apps, and they are literally redistributing the same app to different countries, to different target audiences, and that method works very well. There's a whole bunch of untapped audiences in the world, not necessarily the US, Canada, or UK, or the big five. So this guy had a very valuable plan up front. He didn't just spray and pray on Facebook ads. So big props to him. While everybody was fighting over US traffic, Julian was scaling on $50 a day in markets with way less competition, probably lower CPMs as well, and pretty much lower cost per conversions. So if you guys are building a SaaS or app in 2025 and also going into 2026, you guys need to validate before spending. Not just ask people, hey, would you buy this? They actually have to take out their card out of their wallet, put their card information. You see it in Stripe, or you see their Apple Pay subscription on the Apple Store. So you want to do that before you dump thousands of dollars into Meta. And also, I didn't really cover it in the story, you guys want to track your Meta ad spend with a Google Sheet. I also give that to my students as well. And another thing you guys could do is run a broad audience on Facebook, go global. You don't have to target the US only, and then see where your lowest cost per conversions are. For example, this guy was South America, and then filter your next campaign to only South America. So run a broad ad first, see which audiences are converting at the lowest cost per conversion, then make a new campaign or ad set and scale that if it's profitable. Also, I recommend checking the Meta ads library and also see what ads they've been running for 3+ months, because that probably means that is converting. Copy your competitors' ads and add a small twist and then ship it. Another thing, guys, is because this is pretty much a utility app, you can hard paywall. I always say don't hard paywall community apps. If you guys are watching, think about making a community app. But if it's a single or multi-utility app like this, you can hard paywall, and I recommend hard paywalling before the user sees the dashboard. And it sounds counterintuitive, but the data shows that the serious users will buy more often and upfront if the onboarding sequence builds enough trust. So again, you guys want a long onboarding, asking very specific questions, almost revealing their problems and pain points, and that'll push the people away who weren't going to buy anyways and convert the people who were going to buy at a higher percentage. So long onboarding is the meta, but you also have to just know what you're doing. You can't just have a long onboarding, just have a long onboarding. So let's get transparent about the numbers. On $440,000 a month, how did he get that? Let's break it down. His ad spend was roughly a third of the revenue. So his ad spend was spread across Meta, TikTok, Apple search ads. His salaries was about 50 to 80K per month for a team of 14, which is actually not too bad. Apple's cut 15%. If you're a new account on the Apple Store, it's going to be 30%. But to get that 15%, you guys need to apply for the small business program. Takes like 30 minutes, but a couple weeks to get approved. So his AI bills was surprisingly low for his scale. It was under $1,000 per month, which is great. So that's it for today's video, guys. Very detailed, specific breakdown. If you guys want one-on-one mentorship or want my team to build an app for you, there's a link in the description. Have a good one, guys. See you guys tomorrow.